Hi everyone, I'm Shadika. Welcome to today's class, Float to Forearm Stand, How to Pincha in the middle of the room. You're gonna need a block, so grab your block. You're gonna need wall space, so pick some wall space. I'll give you a chance to move there in the middle of the class, and we're gonna warm up the shoulders, a little bit of flowing, and then I'll teach you also how to exit safely, and you'll have a few opportunities to work on your Pincha Mayurasana forearm stand. So grab whatever props you need and I'll see you on the mat. Take a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, palms resting on your thighs. Take your head back to bring your ears over the shoulders. And just take a few deep breaths here, finding some length in the spine and finding some softness, spaciousness. Releasing any tension in your jaw, in your body, trying to use the breath to release anywhere that's feeling tight. And also to use the breath to build confidence, maybe trying something new today. Use the breath for empowerment, strength, and knowing that wherever you are in your journey is enough. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bow your head to your hands and release. Open your eyes. Take your block, we're gonna start on the back in our bridge, low bridge. Place the block between your thighs, but before we lift up the hips, your knees are bent, feet are on the mat, walk your feet out so they're not under the knees. Take your hands, place them on your lower rib cage. We're gonna really focus on that area today where we're gonna really use the core in our inversion, in our forearm balance. So take your hands on your rib cage and draw it down. Good, your sacrum is grounded. Maybe there's a little bit of space in your low back. Now take an inhale and take your fingers and kind of dig them underneath your rib cage. So really hollowing that out. And then with your exhale, hold it together. So you're really engaging your core. You're starting to feel that there in your core container, super active. And just take a few deep breaths and at your own pace, just really focus on that area. We're just bringing awareness there. If this is your first time trying to touch your ribs and dig under there, then this is gonna feel, different, but just have that awareness. Now bring your hands to your outer ribs in the lower part. Draw the belly in, firm your glutes. You're gonna hold your hands there. Take an inhale, exhale, firm your glutes as you lift up into your low bridge. Keep hugging the ribs together, really hugging that in. And your top of your back is on the mat and your low ribs are off the mat, but you're drawing those ribs down energetically towards the mat. Good, then keep that engagement, bring your palms towards the sky, towards the ceiling, facing each other, draw it all in, and now bring your shoulder blades down to the mat. So just finding a neutral scapula. Now take your right hand, bend the wrist, take your left hand and give yourself a little stretch. And now we're gonna pulse the glutes up and down. So hip pulses as we do this. And then stretch your arm overhead. A little bit more shoulder opening, working the glutes. Keep thinking about the rib cage, so drawing it down. Then come back up, switch your hands, and bring it down. Pulsing. Good, one more. Inhale. And exhale, come back. Bring your arms up, palms down, and lower your hips and your spine segmentally. Good. Take your block, bring it to the side. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Bring your knees over your hips. Cross your left leg over the right, and you can take a double bind for eagle, or you can just keep it open. Bring your elbows towards the ceiling, draw your low belly down, take an inhale. Exhale, come up off the head and shoulders, draw the low ribs down, low belly down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift, draw the low belly down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift, nice and strong. Inhale and lower. Switch the cross of the legs. You can double bind or not. Elbows hugging in, take an inhale. And exhale, come up off the head and shoulders. Your sacrum is grounded, low belly is grounded. Inhale and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Inhale and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Inhale and lower. Good, switch the cross of your legs again. This time so your left leg is over the right. Bring your left arm under the right. Now we're gonna add the eagle bind, which will help us in our shoulders. Take an inhale. Exhale, head and shoulders lift, draw it down. Now bring your elbows over to the left and come up off your shoulder blades more. Draw your low belly down. Inhale back to center and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Move your body about an inch or two to the left. Come up off the shoulder blades more. Inhale back to center and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Move to the left. Inhale back to center and lower. Release the hands, release the legs, cross your right over left. Bring your right arm under the left. Bring your palms away from you. Take an inhale. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Move your elbows to the right. Come up off your right shoulder blade more. Inhale back to center and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Move an inch to the right. Come up off the right shoulder blade. Inhale back to center and lower. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Move to the right. Low belly hugging in. Inhale back to center and lower. Good. Release the hands, release the feet. Give yourself a hug and rock and roll up to tabletop. Hands and knees. Nice and strong. Hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes. And just take some cat-cow movements on your own pace. So you're going to arch the spine. Inhale and round, and then exhale. Take a few of these, release the abdominal muscles as you do this. Just kind of get into the breath, using the breath to lengthen. And then come back to center. We're going to take kind of free form movements, getting into the shoulders. We're going to use our shoulders a lot today, and also the core. So keep hugging the core in as you find these rotations. Think about your hips and your shoulders working together, and go the other direction. These are these animalistic cat-cows. It's kind of fun to do. And really feel that power, and also grip the mat. We're also warming up our forearms. One more inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Come into downward facing dog. Just stretch it out, hands on the mat, bend the knees, bend the hips. Back it up, nice and strong. You can always keep your knees bent now, and then you can start to slowly straighten them as long as you keep a nice long spine. Take an inhale and exhale. Slowly bend both elbows together at the same time. Keep hugging the ribs in and bring your forearms down. So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Let your head relax, walk the feet in. Come into your dolphin pose. Your head is off the mat and your neck is neutral, so you're looking at your toes, and try to drive the chest towards your toes as you lift up into the hips and draw the belly in. Inhale and exhale. Good. Slowly, we're gonna come back to downward facing dog with lifting the elbows at the same time. So you can look at your elbows and watch this happen. Take an inhale and exhale, lift. Nice and slow, good. And a couple breaths here in your down dog. Inhale, look forward, exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, hands to the mat, step the right foot back, back knee down, top of the foot down, inhale, arms lift, elevate through the shoulders, then interlace your fingers behind your back, open up the chest, the shoulders, and draw the rib cage in. Remember at the beginning of class, we were wrapping our hands around our ribs, so draw that in. Good, inhale, and exhale, release the hands, come to plank, and on your knees, lower, keep your shoulders lifted. Inhale, cobra, pulling the chest through, exhale, lift, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, back knee down, top of the foot down, inhale, arms lift, interlace your fingers, open up the shoulders, rib cage hugging in. You can always take your hands on the rib cage to really, keep that in your brain to hug it in. Or you can hold the hands. Inhale and exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Step the left foot back, back knee down, toes tucked this time. Inhale, arms lift. Bring your arms to goalpost, bending the elbows. And we're gonna do some thoracic rotations. And really now, firm your forearms, like firm your triceps, firm everything. We're warming up. We're gonna use this feeling alive with our bent elbows and our forearm balance, so nice and strong. Inhale and exhale, hands to the mat, plank. And on your knees, lower. Keep your shoulders lifted. Inhale, cobra, pulling the hands back energetically. Exhale, lift. Downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, back knee down, toes tucked. Inhale, arms lift. Then arms by your side, roll the shoulders. Nice and strong here. Good, inhale and exhale, hands to the mat. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, hands to the mat, step to plank, nice and strong. Option here, you can bring your knees down or you can keep them lifted as you lower chaturanga, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, lift, downward facing dog. Good, strong here in your down dog. Okay, we're gonna move into dolphin from here. So bend the elbows at the same time so they land right under the shoulders. Let your head relax. Walk the feet in. You can bend the knees if you need to and try to bring the chest towards your toes. Lift one leg, lift your left leg up, bend the bottom knee and lift through the heel of your top foot. Press into the forearms, press into your elbows. Inhale and exhale, lower the foot. Other side, right leg lifts, bend the left leg, lift through the heel of the top foot. Your glutes are engaged too, so it's a long back line. Inhale and exhale, foot down. At the same time, if you can, you don't have to, by the way, you can always do one hand at a time. Slowly lift into your down dog. Both elbows lifting at the same time. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand. Good. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Step or jump to plank. Nice and strong and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, lift. Downward facing dog. And this time we're gonna add 10, or let's do 5 elbow lowers halfway, and then we'll do the last one into dolphin. So take an inhale and exhale, elbow lowers. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, nice and strong, and then go really slow to land. You'll feel it in your triceps. Bend the knees and come into your dolphin pose. Good, nice work. Okay, now lift your left leg up again, bend the bottom knee, and now see if you can kind of rock on the ball of the bottom foot. Maybe you can push off, catching some air. Look at your toes, or you can look between your hands, or between your forearms, I should say, or at your elbows. Good, come down, other foot lifts, right leg lifts. Look at your bottom toes and rock forward and back. Look between your hands, maybe catch a little air. We're just warming up. We're gonna get to this later. Inhale and exhale, come down, come onto your knees and just take a seat. Awesome job. Grab your block, hands. We're gonna just do a couple things. So bring your hands on the outside of the block, bring your arms overhead. We're just gonna put this in our brain to have this as our shoulder and hand arm position. So bend the elbows into a tricep press. Hug the block and hug your ribs in. Pretend your hands are there, holding your rib cage. Inhale and exhale. Come back up and release the block. All right, first pincha tutorial. We're gonna do hands holding the block. So bring your block down on the mat, bring your hands around the block so you're hugging the block with your thumb and forefinger, like 2 L's, and hands palms on the mat, elbows right under the shoulders. So if you had trouble bringing your elbows close, this helps you more with this awareness. Let your head relax and lift into your dolphin. Bend the knees, and now lift your left leg up again and rock forward and back on your toes. Now, if you are working this, you can look between your forearms for better balance or easier balance, or you can start to practice keeping a neutral neck. Bring your foot down, right leg lifts, and see if you can maybe catch some air. We're gonna come back to this, so just focus on here, drawing the belly in, lifting through the top heel. Inhale and exhale, come down, sit on your heels, remove the block, and come into downward facing dog. Good. Stretch it out in your down dog. Come down on your knees, take a seat. We're gonna move to a wall, so just take a moment to bring your mat to the wall. Have your mat touching the wall flush, and I'll show you a couple ways how to work on your Pincha Mayurasana forearm balance using a wall. Starting with L shape at the wall, so you can just bring your toes to the wall. That's why I have your mat close, and just bring your feet down, knees there, and then just bring your forearms naturally where they go. You can place the block between your forearms if you like, or you can interlace your hands. But have your palms, if you're gonna have your palms down, elbows right under the shoulders, let your head relax. Take an inhale, exhale, puff the upper back, lift the knees, take one foot and step it halfway up the wall, and then try to step the other foot. And your head is off the mat, pressing into your forearms. Then see if you're here, stay here, or you can straighten your legs. Now, you might be starting out far away from the wall, so just adjust as you need. But that is the general length. for your first one, I would be a little bit further away, and then you can inch yourself closer to the wall. And then here you could lift one leg and the other. So this just helps feel that stacking of hips over shoulders. And the trick is really to try to lift both feet onto the wall. So let's try that one more time. Toes at the wall. So there's your length, forearms down, lift, okay, one leg, other leg. And you can kind of see, if you film yourself or take pictures, you can see if you're making an L. Your feet can maybe be lower, higher. And this really builds that strength in the shoulders, drawing the belly in, super strong in your core as well. Inhale and exhale, come down. Good, now we'll try the other way with your Now we'll try the other way with our forearms, our fingers at the wall. I would start this with your fingers pretty close to the wall. And again, your palms are down. You can have the block there as well. Elbows under the shoulders, tuck your toes, lift, walk the feet in. Now do the same thing, like we're gonna lift one leg, rock, and see if you can come up without touching the wall. All right, so you're gonna lift up, but of course if your top heel lands, that's okay. You can use that to come up. Okay, so let's try that with the other leg, right leg. And see, wherever you're at, you can have your heel land and then have both heels if this is your first time. And the neck relaxed does help, neck neutral, or you can look, see if you can find a little bit of balance as you work on that. Another thing, another way we can find some balance, fingers are maybe a little bit further away from the wall. So we're not gonna really touch the legs have both feet on the wall. We're gonna do a different way. So elbow under the shoulders, lift one leg, whichever leg you prefer. Bring that leg to the wall, then take your other leg, bend the knee, and see if you can find some float here with one leg bent, and maybe try to straighten the feet, the legs together. So just try that, whatever works. We just want to move away from the wall eventually, and actually sooner than later. But the wall is there if you need that support, a little bit of assistance, and just to have that safety net. But we do want to work Pincha Mayurasana, forearm balance, away from the wall as much as possible. So now move your mat back to where you were, and I'll show you a couple things like how to exit safely in the middle of the room, and then how to work on your forearm balance, your Pincha, with more confidence, being able to find that balance in the stacking of hips over shoulders. Okay, so let's talk about now having an exit plan. So we did some work on the wall, but now we want to work on building confidence away from the wall, and we need to learn how to exit. So one thing that I love to do is exit with kind of a cartwheel pivot. So your forearms are parallel, and you lift this one arm up, almost like a kickstand. So I'll just demo it. So forearm is down, and then you would be up, and you would, okay, almost like you're kind of kickstanding your right elbow. So it looks like this. You come up, lift the leg, push off the bottom toes, come up, and then you would kind of cartwheel pivot. I go to the right, and you could go to the left. Just see whatever works for you. So let's try that together and try this again. So forearms down, lift your right leg, and let's do one without kicking to, from the balance. So you're just gonna come up and move your hand to the side. So right leg lifts, right hand to the side. Right leg lifts, right hand. Okay? Then you can try to add movement. So, okay? Kind of like you're doing these intentional hops to the side. So try that a couple times. You can pause the video and practice this on your own. So I'll give you a chance to do one more. I'll just demo it one more time. So let's say you are going up a little bit. So that's why we want to lift the top leg, push off the bottom toes, catch some air. And then if we go over too much, we can kind of brace ourselves with that. If you go to the left, it's the same thing. So your forearm into your kickstand. Okay, great, let's move on. Nice work. So forearms down. Let's try to come up into an L shape. So forearms are down, let your head relax, tuck your toes, lift. Let's do our left leg first. Bend the bottom knee. You can look between, or you look at your toes, or you can look between your forearms. See if you can lift your top leg as high as you can, stacking your hips over your shoulders, and see if you can catch some air. Your bottom leg can be straight, or you can bring it into your chest. Let's try the other side. So you come into your L or knee to your chest. So whatever works, just think about the top leg being as high as possible to stack your hips over your shoulders, and then try to meet, the bottom leg meets the top leg. If you go too far over, take it slow, keep hugging the ribs in to bring that into alignment. And if you cartwheel out, your pivot, cartwheel pivot, then that's what you do. So let's try one more time, forearms down. And if it feels more comfortable to interlace your fingers, that's fine too. But just know that your head is not on the ground. Forearms are down, elbows under the shoulders. Tuck your toes, take an inhale, exhale, puff the upper back, lift the hips, walk the feet in. You can bend the knees to bring the chest towards the toes. Then lift your left leg up. You can look at your bottom toes as you come up maybe into a balance, or you can look between your hands and find a little bit of hops here. Then try the other side. So I like to lift up with my right, but it's always good to have both available. Good, and then come down. Nice work, hope that helped. So let's cool down, lying on your back. Bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Bring your feet down to the mat. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Open up that left hip. Then bring your knee to your chest. Opening that up. Drawing the belly down, shoulders down. One more inhale. And exhale. Slowly release. Other side. Cross your right over left. Open up that hip. Bring your knee to your chest. Good. One more inhale. And exhale. Slowly release. Roll onto your side and then come onto your belly. We're gonna do an intense shoulder stretch. Take this nice and slow. So we'll do the right arm out because I'm facing you. So take your right hand and bring it around to where your eyebrow level is. And you're gonna bend the left leg, or bend both, and try to bring your left foot over, stretching out your right shoulder. And don't go too deep here, just whatever feels good. Let your head relax, opening up the left leg and then your right shoulder, maybe a bit more. Your left hand can be helping as well on the mat. One more inhale. And exhale, come down onto your belly and go to the other side. So left arm out and let your head relax and roll onto your left shoulder. Your right leg is coming. You can have both knees bent or you can have your left leg straight, just whatever's comfortable. Try to feel this more in your shoulder rather than your low back. So I'd rather you focus on opening the shoulder versus really twisting too much anywhere else, because we want to really focus on the upper back, the shoulder. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly come down onto your belly. We'll lift and then roll over onto your back again. Bring your knees to your chest, give yourself a hug. And then come into happy baby. Knees are wide, grab your ankles or your shins first. Ground down into your sacrum and focus here on the shoulders. So draw the shoulder blades down and then draw the low belly. So everything's really grounded in your spine, natural C curve of the spine. Relaxing your jaw. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Slowly release. Bring the soles of the feet together. Left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. And just settle here, having gratitude for yourself and your practice today. Thankful for what your body can do and thankful for wherever you're at in your journey. That where you are, whatever your abilities are, your goals, they are enough. Release the hands and we'll come into Shavasana. You can pause the video and maybe take a longer Shavasana. We'll just be here for a few breaths. Melting, relaxing, feeling grounding in the hips and your shoulders, chin down to lengthen the back of the neck. Good, and slowly bring life to your fingers and toes and stretch it out however you like. Bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. And then roll to one side and then sit up. Nice and slow. Hands are on your thighs. Head back. Jaw a little bit down, relaxed. Hands to your heart. And just take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Hope you learned something new and got to practice a little bit more. Let me know what you enjoyed, and any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.